Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Enigmatica 2 Expert. So I was doing some looking between episodes, and looking through some of the forestry stuff, and I've decided we're actually not going to automate the thermionic fabricator, the carpenter, that stuff, because we can automate them with modular machinery. What this pack features as far as modular machines, it features the Starlight crafting engine, which allows us to do the colored lenses, the shifting stars, through this thing. Basically, you can feed in liquid starlight to craft the stuff through here. There's also the advanced metallurgic fabricator. Basically, that's used to make some of the advanced alloys like mirian, titanium, modularium, osgoglass, mana-infused ingots, and osmiridium, which we're going to be getting into modularium. You can craft this by hand as well, but it also features the advanced thermionic fabricator and the advanced carpenter. So instead of having multiples of these, because these can only store, one recipe at a time, instead of having multiples of those, we're going to start moving towards modular machines. However, to do that, we're going to have to set up an actual automation system for this. We are going to do that. I don't know if we're going to get to it this episode. I'm going to have to run a lot of cables. So I'm not for sure if we're gonna automate that this episode or not. And the reason being, this modularium requires, electrical steel I've got automated, platinum we have tons of, pulsating iron I've got automated, and then we can just automate that recipe. But the empowered pallies to make modularium, because we're going to need a lot of modularium. Which really isn't too bad, it's just we need a permanent setup for this automation. And it's kind of big, I actually don't want it up there. I'm actually thinking about putting it down here, because I've got all this space, and I've got some free space, and I think we could make it look a little bit better down here, and then if we had all the cables and stuff under the floor, I think it would actually look pretty good. If we just connected it all with XNet underneath the ground, and I'm actually kind of thinking if we set it up like right over here. So maybe if we had it setting like right there, came out 2, 2, and 2, and just put it right there. I think that would be a bit better, because that little section there is kind of offset. It's away from all the bigger sections where a lot of the astro sorcery stuff's going on. The empowering system is kind of magical, so it kind of makes sense, even though it does require redstone flux. Of course, so did Thumbcraft up until not too long ago, I guess. But we're going to set it up over here, and then we'll have it connected up with XNet, and then our AE system is, of course, going to run through this area, because we are going to be setting up some stuff down here that requires AE, and then, of course, the blood magic area as well. So we'll see if we get to that this episode or not. But we do have some other stuff that we need to cover within forestry, and that's what I would like to do over the next couple episodes, is forestry and modular machines, and get all that automation stuff that we want done for forestry. Get it out of the way. The first thing that I really want to do is all these quests right here and this quest here. I don't have any intentions of using forestry for power. We don't really need it. The Rainmaker, don't really need it. Terra Bozu's, much better. And then the flexible casing, I'm not going to be using the forestry, the farms for that. So we'll go ahead and knock some of this stuff out. And they want us to make all three of the engines, right? Clockwork, biogas, and peat-fired engines. So everything but electrical engine. So let's go ahead and just knock these out. There's clockwork. There's biogas. There's peat-fired. What am I missing? Copper gears. Okay. Okay, so there's our peat-fired engine. And then we're going to get quests completed. So first up, clockwork engine. Take a loot chest. Next up, oh, that's for a fermenter. Have I never made the fermenter? Biogenerator, steel. Oh, wait, it's this biogas engine right there. I can't turn that in. Requires the fermenter. Okay, so we're going to have to make a fermenter first, which I don't know if, this is another thing, I don't know if we'll actually use it, if we need it. If we need to ferment liquids, we'll use it, but otherwise, no. Alright, so we'll go ahead and take that. We'll take that. We'll take that. And then we need the steel and the biogenerator. Basically, the fermenter, biogas engine, that's what that's for, is the steel and, making that biogas. So let's go ahead and just dump all this stuff in, and we need the steel. These are all pretty quick because we got the, we got the casings already automated. So, and then we need the bio generator, right? I think so. So there we go. There's the steel. And there is the bio generator. And then they also want us to make the rainmaker. So what am I missing? 10 gears, which I have not automated. Okay, so let me teach you how to make 10 gears then. So if you take, say, 3210, and you dump it in there. There we go. And that makes 8 10 gears. And I'm going to need 2 more of these. Okay, so let me just dump that into there. And then we can get the rainmaker. Yay. Quest complete. Okay. There is another loot chest. And then lastly, there is the quest for the flexible casing, which if I recall, it does have to be made in the carpenter or the thermionic fabricator. 4 bronze, 2 slime balls, emerald. Okay, so let's get that. Try to clean up just some of these quests that we're not actually going to be using for much of anything that comes to mind. Okay, so we'll go ahead and lay that out. And it's going to have to heat up. And then there's also a quest to make one of the circuit boards. Now, you kind of have to tier these up. Like the enhanced, well, the enhanced doesn't take the basic. The refined doesn't take it. But the intricate, you need the other 3 in order to craft that. So what we're going to do is, let me get a bucket of water. And we're just going to make a basic circuit board, just tin and redstone. We will use these later on, but I'm going to wait until we get all of our automation stuff. Well, actually, I don't even know how much we'll use it. Because, well, we might use it for squeezers and stuff, but if we're going to be automating our stuff through modular machines, then unless we, I'm sure we'll have recipes here. Let me see. Yeah, quantum entangler porter machine circuitry requires an intricate circuit board. We're also going to need it right there to make the neutron collectors, and which we actually might start. These actually aren't that expensive. We'll probably start making these before too long. We will have to get into a little bit of advanced rocketry, but yeah, we may actually start making those before too terribly long. Okay, so our flexible casing is done. We'll go ahead and grab that. There we go. And craft. Okay. But that is really just used for making the farms. If you don't want to do the multi-block farms, you can use the flexible casing and you can make these right here. We did use these, of course, in Exoria. And there we go. Quest complete. Circuit boards. So we'll probably end up automating, like fully automating all the circuit boards, because I think we will end up using those. 10 electron tubes we've already made. And then this right here, we have to make all the parts for it. Okay, well, let's open some loot chests first, because we have a lot of loot chests. So first up, we got 16 cyan banners. I might actually use those. Then we got 8 sausage and bread, 4 walnut doors, 8 enrods, 8 targets, 64 nether bricks, an atomic disassembler. That's actually kind of useful. That's a really good, it's a multi-tool that can break stuff like near instant, you know. It is very, very good. See, it's got efficiency 20 on it. So, it's pretty powerful. Honestly, I will probably charge this thing up and use it. Because it is kind of handy. So maybe instead of like a lot of this stuff, I'll probably just use this and my sword. And then if I need fortune or I need silk touch, I've got it here. But I can't remember. This might actually have silk touch mode. I'm not for sure. And then you can shift right click to toggle between slow, fast, vein mine, off, normal, all that stuff. Can I not put that in the charger? Looks like no. Okay, well, let's see about... can we do a wireless charger at the moment? Is that within our means? No, we need an ender resonator. This wireless charger, we can do this one. Signal and plates, or we can go this route with the... Yeah, that's actually a little bit easier for us. So we're going to need 2 elite control circuits and a block of redstone. And there we go. There's our wireless charger. Now there's also the... see, there's also the personal charger, which I've heard is kind of bugged, but that requires a wireless charger anyways, and ultimate energy cube, and I'm actually not that worried about it. I don't know, I'm not a big fan of just the everywhere infinite superchargers like that. I just think they're kind of cheap. They're kind of cheesy. So we're going to put that right there. You can see our atomic disassembler is charged up now. And we can set it to fast, so it breaks instantly if we wanted to. So it is kind of a nice tool. And it works on, you know, dirt and all that stuff too. So anyways, next up there is the multi-block farms. We're going to have to make one of each of these blocks. Let's just go ahead and knock this out. Just to get it out of the way. We're going to need stone bricks. That's fine. We're also going to need some wood slabs. And then we're going to need some electron tubes. We're going to need the 10 electron tubes. So these were just tin and redstone. Alright, we'll go ahead and get that going so we can make some of those. Now we're also going to want blazing electron tubes. So while that thing is already heating up, these are going to require 5 blaze powder and then 2 redstone. That's for a quest, which I think I need to upgrade my blaze powder storage, it looks like. Okay. Well, we're going to wait for these to get finished up, and then we'll set up the blaze electron tube, which, does it say what we're actually making these for? I don't know. Okay, they're just going to be using the electron tubes to speed them up, so, or the circuit boards. So basically, most of these quests, we will, I don't know if we'll use the circuit boards that much. I'm mainly going to be using this stuff right here. The modular machines kind of defeat the purpose of doing a big forestry setup. Because that way we can just automate through one machine. It's actually faster, and we don't have to, you know, we don't have to have multiple ones per recipe, which makes a big difference actually. Okay, so quest complete. There we go. We'll go ahead and dump those into there, and then we need the farm blocks. We're gonna need, I think, 4 of these all together because they want us to make. 1 farm block, 1 farm hatch, valve, control, and gearbox. Which is basically every possible thing we can put into this. So there's the farm gearbox. Then we need the farm hatch. There's that. Then we need the farm valve. There's that. And then finally the farm control. There's that. And there we go. Quest complete. Alright. So we pretty much knocked out most of these quests. Starting out kind of like we did with immersive engineering. Just kind of knocking out all this, like, kind of assorted junk that we don't really need. Okay, so there's all of that. And then we'll open up our loot chest. We got 8 char suey and 2 Tesla coils, 8 hearty breakfasts, 4 oak bookshelves, ooh, and another octuple compressed cobblestone. Okay, and we'll just dump all that stuff into there. Thank you for coming. Okay, so now the field is cleared. We can focus on the bee side of things. Go ahead and get that set up. The reason being, we're actually going to need bees. Not for much. The main thing that I've noticed that we really need bees for, liquid DNA. Because we're going to need this in the advanced carpenter for some crafting. We're also going to need it in... Was it in the fluid transposer? There was, I think, something else. No, that's it. But for the carpenter to make the ludocrite, or for the advanced carpenter to make ludocrite, and then also the random animals from Animania. So we are going to need it for that. So I'd like to go ahead and get that stuff set up so we can start processing and making DNA. We don't actually need a whole lot of stuff for this, but we will cover the bases that are right here. These basic things that we're going to need. Okay, I thought I hit record, but I didn't. I apologize. I crafted up 2 apiaries. They're cheap. And then I also crafted up a centrifuge. That's centrifuge. That's apiary. Impregnated casings. So, I do apologize. And then I got the portable animalizer crafting. We're going to go ahead and just get this stuff. And then we're going to start setting up our bees. So, there is that. And by the way, the loot chests, I got a power cell and then 8 fish and chips. So, for the 2 loot chests that you missed. And then in this one, we got 2 gun turrets. Awesome. Okay, now the next thing we're going to need to do, we're going to have to go get our bees, and we're going to go with NBs. And the reason that we're going to go with NBs is because if we take a look inside here, bee produce, mysterious comb, pulsating propolis, pulsating mesh, we need this to make resonant cell frames, which are needed for most of the creative items. Well, not most, but 4 of them. as well as the elite crafting, or the ultimate crafting table, as well as all the draconic stuff and the fusion crafting cores as well. And then all the RF tools. Dimension Inscriber, Editor, and Dimlet Workbench. So, we're going to need those. We're definitely going to need those. Now, next up, the last thing they want us to craft in Forestry is the Apiarist Armor. This stuff, normally you have to get, like, jungle bees or, you know, something to that effect. I'm not sure if we have to in this pack. Woven silk, silk wisp, silky propolis. Yeah. We are going to have to get silky combs. So a jungle would make that a bit easier. So we're going to go get ourselves some bees. We will be setting this stuff up. Not right this second, but we will be. So what we're going to want is... Oh, let's see. We want the smoker and then the one thing that I can never remember the name of it. I don't know why. The scoop. Yeah, scoop. I remember it like right as I see it on here. I think it's like an image thing. Like I see it and it's like, okay, yeah, that's what it is. Okay, so there is our smoker. There is our scoop. And then we need to go out hunting. And there's two things that we want. First up, we want to go to this jungle teleport that we've had for a while. And we're going to look around for some jungle bees. Right here. Tropical hive. That's what we're looking for. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our smoker and we're going to smoke them. And then we are going to break this. And we're going to get, we got a tropical princess, tropical drone, and a silky comb. Okay, so what we're going to do, let's warp back home real quick. And I'm going to grab just a couple things here. First up, I want to get, we're going to get some item conduits. These are going to be very, very temporary, but for right now, we are going to need those. And then we're also going to get ourselves a crate. And let's see, out of curiosity. Well, actually, I guess it doesn't matter right this second. I was going to scan them with the portable analyzer, but it's not really needed. Right here, the jungle, right where we warp in, this is where we're going to set up our bees. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a chunk load. Let me actually get... There we go. We're going to go ahead and just chunk load this area right here. And we're going to set up our apiary. Just one of these is fine. We'll just let this run for a little bit. We're going to put our storage crate right there. Our item conduit down right there. And we're going to say that you can extract, you can insert. Self-feed is enabled. The insert priority is 10. So that way it's a higher priority. And we're going to set the extract to always active. And then over here we're going to say that you can insert. So what's going to happen is whenever the bees get done running, it's going to take the princess and the drone. It's going to take them and dump them back into the system. And basically just cycle them through. Okay. And we're going to let that stuff build up because we're going to need a few of these silk wisps. The silky propolis, 80% chance when ran through the centrifuge. You can also use the centrifugal separator, and we might. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, it's fairly easy to craft, so we'll probably actually just go with that because it'll be a bit faster to run this stuff. But we need to get the silky propolis, and then we need to run it through the centrifuge again. We have a 60% chance to get silk wisp, and we need quite a bit of that to make the apiarist armor. So we're going to have to let that run for a bit. Let them basically just keep breeding and generating silky combs. And then next up, let's warp back home. And we're going to warp to the end through the flue system and then pop through the portal. And what we're looking for is end bees now. And we're going to do pretty much the same exact thing. We're going to set them up and have them running. Now chances are most of these here have already been... Oh, wait. What luck. If we get a drone and a princess, we will be all set. So we're going to go ahead and smoke it. The reason we smoke it is because they'll do damage to you if you don't. We got an ender princess and an ender drone. That's great. And then a mysterious comb. Okay, and I should have brought... These actually might work at our base, though. So let me find the teleport out of this place. And you know something I didn't check? Let me pop back to the jungle. I don't know if they're going to need flowers or not. I think... No, they're already running. Okay. Because they've got vines. Vines count as jungle flowers, so that works. I don't know what that is. It's like a sapling. Yeah, it's a sapling. I'm not too worried about that. Okay, and let's see if our end bees will work. Now, chances are I'll probably have to plant down chorus fruit But if so, that's fine. Let's, right over here should be chunk loaded, I think. Yeah, this area up here is chunk loaded. So if we set these up, it's going to be covered by leaves, like right here. We toss them in. Let's see if they'll actually work. Like I said, I think they're going to need a chorus flower. Yes, it is too dry and no flowers. Okay. Let's see if we pop over to the jungle. I wonder if they could run with the... not sure if this will be too hot or anything. Too hot, too humid, no flowers. Okay. Okay, right here. This is a flower field teleport that I've got. And so we're going to set these up right here. And we're just going to chunk load this one chunk. See, just like before, we're going to put down item conduits. We're going to put down storage crates. We're going to say that self-feed is enabled. Insert priority of... Honestly, you could just do priority of 1 if you wanted to. Always active on extraction. And then you can insert right here. Okay. And that way they can run. Now we are going to need to... let's pop back home. I'm going to need to get a chorus plant and a piece of endstone so that they'll have a flower that they like. Now once we get our bees set up for good, we're not going to need chorus. You know, that's not going to be important for us. But for right now, we do need to plant down some chorus. So we'll just get some of those. Pop over to the flower field. It's actually a little bit of a distant teleport, but we're only going to have to come out here like one more time. Basically, I just want to get these up and running. We don't even really even have to get these going until we get into Dentistry, but we're going to. And there we go. Now they're running now that they have that chorus plant right there. And you can see they do damage you when you're nearby. So just a heads up. But we can remove that trait. Any of these like traits that we don't really like on the bees, we can remove them. And we will be removing them next episode. So we'll go ahead and dump that into there. Okay, so let's warp back. I'm going to hit this jungle before I head back home. Have we gotten anything from this? Probably not. No. That's something I'm just going to let it run overnight. And then, you know, next episode we can come back. These do hurt you as well, so. Next episode we can come back and we can, you know, reap the benefits of it. Okay. So the next thing that we're going to need to do is we need to get some basic dentistry stuff made. That's going to help us along. So first up, we are going to want to get the genetic imprinter. And this is going to require bee receptacles. We can craft those. I am going to need some... Let me just get like a stack of weighted pressure plates. Okay, so 2 bee receptacles. We're also going to want genetics processor. Let's see, advanced circuit, printed engineering. And then we're going to need a power module, which does require a basic energy cube. Bronze gears. Okay, let me order a few of these bronze gears. And then the basic energy cube, I might as well go ahead and set up a recipe for this because we're going to need it. I'm also going to have to teach it to make the energy tablet. So there's that. And then the basic energy cube. So we're going to go ahead and order that. There we go. And then we need just the bronze gears. There we go. There is our power module. And then back to the dentistry stuff, which we won't be using all this stuff probably this episode. Next episode will be focused on our bees. So there's our genetic imprinter. Then I'm going to want a genetic sampler, which requires another genetics processor, another power module, bee receptacle. Let me order some bronze here. I'll order like 300 of it. Let's see, the advanced mutatron is cheap in this pack. Good. Good stuff. I don't know, we'll probably end up using it. I'm not sure yet, because bees aren't really like super important within this pack, so we'll see. There's another power module, and then I don't know if we'll worry about industrial apiaries or not. I mean, we could. They're cheap. Everything in here, it's like, it feels like default dentistry recipes here. Okay, so there's our genetic sampler, and then lastly, at least for right now, we are going to want a DNA extractor. And the reason being, the DNA extractor is what allows us to get our liquid DNA. We can either get it from flowers. Technically, we could do that if we wanted the DNA. But we're going to use bees. You can use queens, drones, princesses, you know, whatever, to get your DNA. We're probably going to be just running drones through it. Okay, there's our DNA extractor. And then one other thing I would like to do, let me order some patterns. We're always running out of these things. And then we are going to want to teach it how to make labware. Genetics labware. So there we go. We might actually want to go ahead and make some blank gene samples as well. Let me just go ahead and get... let me just get 32 of these. And then, which we'll use all this stuff, you know, in the next episode. So kind of a preparation episode, but I didn't want to do all this without you guys either. So, and then we're going to want to get a genetic template. Let's get like 2 of these. That'll be fine. For the time being. And then a crate to put it all in. Then I can't remember if we have much in the way of bees here. We've got a few. So we're going to go ahead and grab all of our bee-related stuff for forestry-related bees from there. And we'll just dump this stuff right into there. And then I tell you what, just to help it out, let's go ahead and get ourselves just a few of these impregnated frames. These will increase production 2% or 2 times production speed. And we're going to put this into, let's pop over to our jungle setup. Because this has been running for a minute, and we haven't really gotten any combs. Oh, we did get one more now. We must have just gotten that one. But this will make it produce a little bit more. So you can see we've completed 1 cycle of these tropical bees. So this way we can kind of increase production speeds and all that good stuff, and hopefully get those combs that we need a bit faster. So, and then let's pop back home. There's one other thing I'd like to get crafted up this episode, and that is I want to go ahead and get the stuff together to change over. We're not going to use the centrifuge. We're going to use the centrifugal separator. This right here, and we're going to need a redstone reception coil. That's fine. Go ahead and order that. There we go. And there is our centrifugal separator. And even the basic level should be better than, than the centrifuge would. And so we've got recipes in here. We can basically break down all the combs. We can break down concrete powder. You can use it in place of the Pam's Harvest Craft pressers. So, yeah. I don't think, aside from that, I don't think there's too much that we're going to be using this for, from what I can tell. So I think that'll be our main use for it. Honestly, don't even know if there's a quest for this or not. No, there's not even a quest for the centrifugal separator. Alright. But yeah, so we are well on our way. We've got one more quest in this, and then this tab will be done as far as quests go. But I will say that we've got another episode of Forestry. Next episode, we're going to be doing bees. We're going to get the apiary suit made. We're going to start getting into gendistry and genetics to make our bees better and kind of how we want them. So, especially so that they can work underground and work during the day and night. We're going to aim for like shortest life cycle because we want them to turn over quickly so we can get more drones for more DNA. And then we might try to get 4 offspring per cycle, and some things like that just to help us out, just to make our bees a bit better and make them run a bit better and all that good stuff. Fast production speeds and so on. So we'll see what we can pull off next episode with our bees. We don't really have to concern ourselves too much with bees. I'll go ahead and tell you. Honestly, if we just set them up stock, like the end bees, just set them up stock and let them run, that would probably be plenty of DNA and plenty of pulsating mesh for us. But we might do some adjustments with gendistry, just to make them a little bit better. The following episode after that, we're going to be doing some machine automation and moving into modular machines, getting some of that stuff set up so that we can automate all the rest of the forestry stuff in a pretty nice fashion. And then after that, we'll move away from that And I think we'll probably move into an episode of Psi after that, and then probably Astral Sorcery. So, anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button, and go ahead and subscribe if you're not already, to stay updated with when new videos come out. And I hope to see you guys next time. So until then, as always, do take care, stay safe. I'll see you guys then.